Hello, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and I'm giving you the late review slash play-by-play of Bleach 667. It is late because unfortunately I wasn't able to do it yesterday. I had a bit of a busy schedule with work, a work due, and then a very light showing of, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, yes, midnight showing of Batman vs Superman. Screen number 7 in the UK. So that basically took all my time, and I didn't get home till 3 a.m. in the morning, and I went straight to bed. So as soon as I've rested up and did what I needed to do today, I thought I'd get this out there. But without further ado, let's get into this review. So for this chapter, we get to see the Beast in action. The Beast for me is always going to be Zaraki Kenpachi. Ever since he was introduced earlier on in the whole Soul Cerate rescue arc, I've always been a fan of Zaraki Kenpachi, and the fact that he finally found out about his Shikai not too long ago, it was always a good, exciting time for me as a fan. So get to see him back in action, redemption, I guess, taking on an elite like he always should have. I'm all for it. So this chapter is relatively simply structured. And because of that, I'm not really going to do a 5-point review. It's just going to be probably about 5 minutes of me ranting, rambling over the main pieces. I've made a few notes. I will go through them, but there are a few key things that I enjoyed more than anything else. Number one was Byakuya actually coming out with a joke. I'll get to that and a few other crazy things that happened. Anyway, so it starts off, and it's more of a POV, so it's a point of view from someone waking up. I believe that's Zaraki Kenpachi waking up from the chamber. And then you see him stood up, ready to kind of go. This is on the back of him chopping off Gerard's arm, because that's what we saw in the last chapter. We see members of his crew, whose name is Ikaku's one of them. I cannot remember the guy with the hair. I always forget his name, so apologies. But yeah, we get to see them there in disbelief, like, how is he even alive? What the hell is going on? Now, basically, because the arms come off, as we know, Gerard's got the ability to grow. It always begs the question: if you can't cut him up, how do you defeat a man like that? The man that is the miracle, that has the heart of the Soul King, Gerard Velkarai. So what happens is Byakuya basically like seeing this probably for the first time. So he's like, "What the hell's going on here?" And Hitsugai explains this. Goes, "Oh yeah, every time you cut him, he gets bigger, which means he was smaller before." And Byakuya is like, Hitsugai is like, if you got something to say, say it. And I was shocked by the response. It was very dry. It was very dry weight. And he goes, you got a thing for your height, haven't you? You've always got a fascination. It's a bit weird type. But that's basically what he meant. And I was like, what? Byakuya came out with the joke. That for me was brilliant character development. Because when we saw him originally, way back when he was first introduced, he was a pompous, he was basically a prick. He was up himself, he was royalty, and he kind of looked down on people, and that's basically how he was for a long time. So to see this change in him where he can actually crack a joke is quite interesting, and it was actually a good thing to see. So once that's explained, that was priceless. The fixation on height was just amazing. I couldn't stop laughing when I read that. Then it gets back to Zaraki. So Zaraki's obviously also there, so he's obviously heard. So he's thinking, I'm going to just cut this guy up. I'll just make some flame onion, some sirloin steak, some doner kebabs out of this guy. He wants to just chop him up. So he's ready to go in. And this guy stops him. I guess fearing for him getting stronger and destroying Soul Society. But as we know, Zaraki Kenpachi doesn't really care. And he goes, I don't really care. I'll just go in. But before he can do anything, he gets stomped on. So Gerard basically thinks he's a cockroach and starts stomping on him. He doesn't realize that Zaraki's a beast for a reason, right? Lifts him up, throws him back, and this gains the respect of Gerard. So from a strength point of view, Zaraki is in a kind of league of his own. So that's why his destructive capability are pretty much second to none, other than possibly the main character, basically Ichigo. So while this is happening, it becomes more of a case of your blade versus my blade. Zaraki tries attacking him. He gets hits the shield, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe I didn't cut steel," type of thing. It kind of reminded me of Zoro, kind of in a way, where he was like, you know, I can't cut steel, what's going on, I need to surpass this. And then he reveals his Shikai again. Now every time I see the Shikai, bearing in mind I've read this a couple of times and I've read the first introduction a couple of times, it always amazes me, always excites me, and I always think, wow. Let me just get his name, I always forget his name. It's called Nozarashi. He goes, drink Nozarashi. That automatically, when I see that and I read that, I think of when we first saw Zabimaru, when he goes, how Zabimaru, and then you see Zabimaru. It's a kind of similar kind of thing to that. So that was quite interesting. What also was cool about this is, you know how we as an audience see something for the first time? This genuinely was the first time Byakuya and Hitsugaya saw his Shikai, and they're like, what the hell's going on? When did he learn this? And you get Byakuya saying that also, the whole time we thought his original sword was his Shikai, we were wrong. And you know, that was kind of cool because they were seeing it like we saw it the first time. Obviously we're in the know now because we saw the earlier battle, but this is the first time they genuinely saw that. So it's good to see that point of view. They were kind of like the readers seeing it for the first time, and it was a good reminder. But like I said, every time I see it, I'm always excited by it. But then they start fighting, then they clash swords. Jarad makes a, you know, talking about like basically staining his sword with blood and doing a sin, and he's gonna take care of sins and what else and whatnot. But when they clash, Zaraki initially comes out on top. I say initially because the battle has just started, but he nicks the sword. Nicking the sword is important because it shows you that he's got a stronger link with his sword, kind of like how Ichigo was when he fought with his Zanpakuto versus Zaraki Kenpachi the first time. So you never know, they will have a second time, I'm guessing. But so having that kind of shows us that difference in Zaraki. Now, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think a Shikai will be enough to take care of Jiraiya? There's got to be something out there that literally blows him away, that for us not to see him again. Because think about it, every time we cut him, he comes back. There must be something there, right? Will this be the time, or in the next couple of chapters, that we get to see his Bankai? Because bearing in mind, he was specifically mentioned to be one of the 5 top threats, I even say it, threats of the Soul Society. You know, obviously the other ones were mentioned in the previous chapter. So the fact that he's there means there's obviously a threat to him, and being that the king can see the future, maybe he's seen his Bankai potentially. So I'm getting excited. We're getting to that. He's taking out the last elite. We're not even considered actually the elite anymore. He's like a flamingo at this point. But you know what I mean. He's like this. He's still got the gift, the Schutzelfen, I think it's called. I can't remember that name, but the gift, the shrift, so to speak. So him going all out versus a Bankai of Zaraki's, I can't wait to see it. What do you guys think? I'm looking forward to it. If something you enjoyed in the chapter, give me a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this review, definitely give me a thumbs up. Let me know any comments in the section below. Give me your thoughts and theories of how you think it's going to happen next. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It really shows your support. I do review a variety of manga and hopefully animes over the course of the week. I am fairly regular, and if it's a day late, it's a day late, but I tend to still do the videos for you. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this video was enjoyable, and I'll see you next time. For now, take it easy. Peace.